How's that carrier working out?
Good. How's it look?
It looks cute.
Twin mom.
They look like a mirror.
Yeah. Twin mom vibes. Feels sturdy. They just need to be a little bit bigger, but
Getting in some sun too.
yeah, I like it.
All right, which one is River?
This one.
Which one's Willow?
This one.
And which one is that back there?
Foxatron.
It's the fox boy. Let's see. Nidio, go. We're still getting the frisbee down. Oh, and then give one to Willow. Oh, so nice, Foxy. Now you film, okay? Okay, now hold on Mama and Dada right here. Hold still. Want to give a special shout out to our videographer, Fox Industries.
Yeah. Oh, yep, we're going down. We're going down. Go further down.
Up.
Point up. Point
there. Yes. No, down. No. Up. There.
Yeah.
Mama's face.
Yeah, my face.
Yeah. Ni kan da mama lien ma. Ni kan da dada lien ma.
Can
Look,
you see
dada
Dada in
lien.
it?
Look. Don't phone me.
Can Mama have a kiss? Can Mama have a kiss? Aww.
Yesterday, what were you saying? You were saying Willow River. Let's see. One more time. I set up this whole summer of videos for us to do a bunch of catch and cook videos on what Jake can catch in a day in the ocean and grow here in the garden and wild foraging to provide for his pregnant wife. And all that got shelved and the boat's been sitting over there. I couldn't introduce Kanaloa to the audience yet because of River and Willow.
Yeah, 2 girls.
So are you okay with this detour from our normal plan?
I'm gonna have to be.
Are you tired?
A little bit.
What's your schedule like during the day right now since they've been born?
Just feedings every 2 hours, every 2 to 3 hours, but mostly 2 hours. So
Then how do you sleep?
that's a good question.
Okay, so they're 1 month old now. So what's the goal? Like your goal is to
Oh, excuse you.
your goal is to get them to birth.
Yeah.
But what's your goal? The goal is to get them
Chunky.
yeah.
I want them to have some rolls. I feed them every 2 hours. I do a combination of breastfeeding and bottle feeding. I want to eventually just do exclusive breastfeeding, but eventually we'll get there. They're just still really small.
But then why the bottle feeding right now? What's the purpose of the bottle feeding if you want to breastfeed only?
So I know how much they're getting. So like I want to make sure that they're getting a certain amount of milliliters or a certain amount of ounces.
While they're young.
Yeah.
What I'm asking these questions for is because I know how you and I worked as a team with Fox. And I would feed him with your breast milk using a bottle 2 or 3 times a day to give you an extra couple hours of sleep for a session. And I can't do that now because you have twins.
Yeah.
And because I'm watching Fox.
Yeah.
So instantly my time with Fox has tripled, quintupled.
Mm-hmm.
And your feeding schedule has been really complex because of the 2 babies.
Yeah, so I just try to keep them on the same feeding schedule. So when
What does that mean? What is,
so if I bottle feed, I try to bottle feed them at the same time. When I nurse them at the same time. So, because like if I nurse one and then she goes down to sleep and then I have to nurse her, that's like 2 hours in, and then when she goes to sleep, then I'm gonna have to nurse her again.
Then
so
you
I try
never
to
get sleep.
And then I never get sleep. So I do same time, and then you have been helping at night. So Jake does help me at night because he'll feed one while I feed the other. Like, you know, if I can't feed, like I'll try to feed both of them. But if I can't, Jake will feed one and I'll feed one. So then we can both get at least, hopefully, 2 hours of sleep.
And then I'm helping during the day too, but I'm also trying to build us some infrastructure here at the Bug Out Moeohane location, which is not done. The house isn't even, I haven't even shown the audience. We have 4 permits and 3 of them are farm structures, and we're doing that first. So
yeah, and we also have a 2.5-year-old that's very active and loves being outside. So it's a new family dynamic, and we're taking it one day at a time for sure.
And like I mentioned in my video, you know, we've always, at Komorebi in the Canadian forest, we've always lived in the yurt and the van, and now we're trying to upgrade to the 3,000 square foot shipping container house. But here at Moeohane in the tropics, we have always done a rental in the area, which are very expensive here. And so for all these years we've done a rental and we've kind of commuted to our property. So it's in our best interest to get this house done so we can just live here, escape the rent, and be here full time. Whoa.对，你的妹妹在这里。你的妹妹，你喜欢她们吗？哦。What is that? 熊？那是熊吗？熊还是没有 ？Holotry. That's or albizia. This is River and this is Willow.
No, that's River. This is Willow.
I know. I'm just keeping you on your toes.
No, you could tell them apart. I think if you've seen a picture of them, you'd be like, oh, they don't look identical yet. I don't know how it works. I've never had twins before.
But explain one more time. People can see all of our infrastructure in the background. That's our electric car being charged by the sun right now. Explain to us though why you think that they're identical.
So they had one placenta that didn't have like a fused line. So what it looked like for us when we dissected and looked at the placenta, it looked like identical twins because it looked like it was one egg that divided into two babies.
So there was only one placenta with two umbilical cords coming out of it.
Yeah.
You want to give us an intimate look of how you're feeding them in there? Let's see your setup.
Sure.
Flip. Whoa. Flip over. There you go. Okay, now go. At the muji. Oh, muji.
Okay. I'm still processing that we have two twin girls. Very crazy. You heard Jake's side of the story, and if you haven't seen that video, I definitely recommend checking it out, and try not to cry at the end because he gets a little teary-eyed, which is cute. Wow. So much has happened in the last 2.5 weeks, and I'm still processing it. It's just been a lot, a lot of great things and stressful things, and I'm very tired. So forgive me. Let's just get into this story. This story I am very, very happy to talk about. Not saying that Fox's was bad. It was just, if you guys watched that video with Fox's birth, it was just very traumatic and a lot, but it had its beautiful moments, of course. But with this birth, I'm excited to talk about it. It was a very beautiful home birth, and it was just exactly how I envisioned it, but not so early. I wish that they would have stayed in a lot longer, but they had other plans, especially the one that came out first. She was ready, so we made it a beautiful space for them to come into, and had a beautiful team. But so anyway, with Fox, my water broke at 34, and then I was in labor for like 3 days, but active labor for 10 hours when he was delivered, and I ended up making it to 35 weeks with Fox, like day 1 of 35 weeks. Literally the day before they were delivered, I had a midwife appointment, and I went to her office and we talk. Normally the appointments go for like 2 hours, which is great because, we talk about me and the babies and life, and Fox gets to play with all the toys that she has there, and it's just such a beautiful setup there. It just makes you really feel comfortable and at home. And she has like a whole section of herbs, which I love. My midwife she's just so beautiful, and I was just so grateful to have her as my midwife. She was actually Fox's midwife too, but we ended up having to do the hospital birth. But she's just such a beautiful person, and she has an amazing assistant that was there too that Fox just absolutely loves. So every time that we had an appointment, I was just always really excited, like, oh yay, we get to go see the midwife. And she also like touches my belly and massages me, and it's always been such a great experience. But anyway, so that morning, the day before they were born, that morning I had an appointment, and you know, she was listening to my tummy with the fetal scope, and because you know, Jake and I wanted a very wild pregnancy where you know, you don't use any machines or ultrasounds. You know, I didn't want any of that. I just wanted to listen to my body and tune into the baby without any of those machines, and that's just what I did with Fox as well, and I'm glad I did. And any tests like that, you know, I wanted to just be in tune with my babies. So anyway, so that morning she was listening like she always does with the fetal scope and trying to find where the baby is positioned and try to feel, you know, hear the heartbeat. And she was taking a really long time, and I was like, oh, are you able to find it? Because sometimes with the fetal scope, you know, if the baby is turned a certain way, you know, it's kind of hard to hear, which is understandable, you know, you're using a fetal scope, not a machine. And she's like, I'm just trying to see if I can hear 2. And I was like, what? I thought she was joking, and I was like, what are you saying? And Jake wasn't paying attention. He was playing with Fox over in the corner with the toys, and her assistant and I like looked at each other because her assistant was there, and I was like, you're kidding, right? It was like a good 10 minutes of like my heart thumping like, oh my God, we might, what? You know, like twins? Nah, you know, I don't think so. Like I only feel 4 limbs, not 8. Like it just, I don't feel like it's twins. But everyone through the whole pregnancy has been joking that I'm having twins. Like my brother made a joke about it, and Matt, our contractor, has been joking about it. Just because I got really big really fast compared to Fox. And so yeah, so she was just still listening, and then all of a sudden Jake comes in and he's like, oh, are you able to find the heartbeat? Because he didn't hear our whole conversation. And I was like, no, Jake, she can hear it. She's just trying to see if she hears 2 heartbeats. She thinks there's twins. Like, so we're like laughing and joking, and she's like, I'm hearing it really strong over here, but I'm hearing like the same heartbeat over here. Because sometimes with twins, the heartbeats are in sync and they beat together. And I think that's what was happening, is she didn't hear 2 different heartbeats. She just heard 1 heartbeat that was in sync. So it kind of sounded like an echo. And she's like, no, I just think it's just a real strong heartbeat. And she's like, she's like, I'm only feeling 1 baby, as she's, you know, feeling my tummy. And she's like, I just think it's going to be just a real big baby. She's like, maybe it's like 5 pounds right now. And I was like, okay, that's good. It's just a good, strong, healthy baby. That was that morning. And then, you know, we go about the day, and it's funny, Jake and I were kind of talking about it. We're like, what if it's twins? And I was like, and Jake asked me, he's like, you know, what if it is twins, Nicolle? Like, do you feel like there's 2 in there? And I was like, no. I was like, there's no twins in there. I was like, everyone's saying that your second pregnancy, you know, you're bigger because your uterus and your body knows what to do because you've already been pregnant before, because that's what everybody was telling me. It's like, oh, you're bigger in your second. And so I was like, there's not twins in there. I was like, I would feel more movement. I wasn't feeling a crazy amount of movement. You know, I was feeling kind of like what I did with Fox, kicks here and there and hiccups, and I wasn't feeling 2 hiccups. And when we would do the fetal scope, we were only hearing 1 heartbeat. So I was like, there's no way. So we were like kind of talking about it throughout the day, which is really funny. And then, so then that night I went to bed, and I was kind of having some cramping, some very mild cramping, which I've had later on in the week, and that's kind of normal. This was like 11 o'clock at night, and it took me a minute to kind of get comfortable to where they finally stopped. And then I fell back asleep, and then like an hour later, I felt just a real powerful kick. Like it felt like, because Fox sleeps with us, so he was next to me, and it felt like Fox kicked me in his sleep. And I woke up like startled, like, oh my gosh. But he was like, you know, way over on the other side of the bed, and I was like, oh man, that was some kick. Like it was a hard kick. And then like 5 minutes later, I felt my mucus plug, my water breaking, like it popping, and then a small leak. And I was just like, my heart just sank into my stomach, and I froze. I didn't even move. And I was just like, oh no, oh no, 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 no. And I just reached for my phone, and I called Jake because he was in the other room. And I was like, you need to come here right now. And so he came in, and I was still just frozen. I didn't even move. And I was like, I think my water just broke. And there's just like this moment, like a pause. and we just kind of like took in each other's energy of like, oh no, you know, like it's happening again. And I broke the silence by saying, I don't want this to happen again. I can't believe this is happening again. This can't be happening again. Is this a dream? Are you waking me up right now? Like, this can't be happening. I just kept saying that, like, I can't believe this is happening again. After just laying there, I was like, I was in denial. I didn't want to get up, but I felt more leakage, and I was like, I have to get up and I have to check. And so I got up, went to the bathroom, and, you know, it felt, you know, like more water. And I just was sat on the toilet, just like shaking my head. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. This can't be happening. And so then we went out to the living room so Fox can keep sleeping. And I was sitting on the couch and I felt fine. Like, no cramping, no nothing. You know, I just felt the water leaking. And we, you know, sat there and we talked of what to do, you know, now. But at this point it's midnight or it's like 12:30. And I was like, I don't want to go to the hospital. I can't go through that again. I can't do that again. I just kept saying, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe it. And so I laid down and I was just trying to calm myself. And I was still not feeling any contractions or cramping or anything. And Jake said, I still think that you should call the midwife just to let her know what's going on. I was like, I'm feeling fine. I'm not cramping. And she's like, well, I'm gonna come and see you anyway. As soon as I got off the phone with my midwife, it was like instant. The contractions came on so intense, like right when I hung up the phone with her. So then she came probably like maybe like an hour. It took her like an hour to get there. And I was by this point I was on the floor on my knees with the birthing ball, just kind of swaying. And you know, she can kind of hear my different tonals coming out and how intense it was getting. And at this point, I was trying to record how close the contractions were together, but they were just so close that I was just like, there's no point. Like, it's just, I don't, like, it's happening, I think. My midwife called another midwife to come to help and assist. And it's just like this beautiful team just like came. It just turned out so beautifully. And I'm so happy that I made the decision that I did. And I think that the girls made it for me, honestly. You know, that's what Jake and I think. Even though they came early, and I wish that they would still be in my belly, but I'm just happy that I made the decision that I did to birth at home. I was still trying to hold the one baby in that I knew of, because like it was getting so intense, like I could just feel the baby just like, come on, Mom, let me out. So I just kept looking at my midwife and just saying, I'm afraid. I'm not allowing myself to open, even though I feel the baby wants to come out. And, you know, she was touching my back and touching my hair. And she's like, everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. The baby is, just tune in with your baby. Just tune in with your baby and let them know what is happening. What is your baby telling you? And I just like, I went into a zone, and I made my decision. I was birthing at home, and I needed to stick with that. I needed to like feel confident in that, and that's what I did. So I felt confident in that decision, and I said out loud, I said, I'm open for you. I'm open and I'm ready to meet you. And I just got chills thinking about it. And everything just moved down. And I felt open, and I kept saying that I'm ready to meet you. I'm ready. We're here. We're here to catch you. We're here to meet you. Everything's going to be okay. You're going to be healthy and you're going to be strong. And yeah, then like 20 minutes later, out she came. And she came out fast. Came out so fast. And my midwife caught her, and then I was on my hands and knees, and she brought her up. Is the baby breathing? Are they okay? And she looked great. She was crying and so tiny, and I had her here because her umbilical cord was really short, and then there's the other midwife kept saying he looks great, his color looks great, and I was like, oh, it's a boy? And she's like, oh, I don't know, I didn't look. And so then we looked, and I was like, oh, it's a baby girl. And I was just so excited. You know, because I would have been happy with a boy, of course, but you know, I wanted a little girl. My friend that was here, you know, for Fox, she was crying, and I can hear her sniffling. Oh, because I think I looked at her, and because we talked about having girls together, and she's like, a girl, and the baby looks so good and so perfect and so healthy, and I felt relaxed, like, okay, we can do this. Everything's gonna be okay. And about 11 minutes go by, and then my midwife is like, all right, since the cord is so short, we need to birth the placenta. And I, felt some mild contractions coming on to birth the placenta. The placenta, if you're not familiar, it's kind of like an organ. It's kind of like ooey gooey, and it's easy to birth. It just kind of like flows out. It kind of takes shape to your uterus and your vagina coming out. This didn't feel like that. I was like, this doesn't feel like a placenta coming out of me. This feels like a head. I knew before my midwife said anything of, oh, it's another baby. I knew it was another baby. I was like, there's no way that this is a placenta. So I'm chanting and oming and grunting and, doing the woman calls of childbirth, which is just beautiful sounds. Just a roaring tiger, kind of, and out comes baby number 2. And again, the cord is short, but they hand her to me, and I see that she's also a girl, and I was like, 2 girls. And I can't describe what I was feeling. I don't even know. I just wanted them to be healthy and crying, and I guess I was just in shock, but I didn't, I had 2 babies here. I still can't even explain how I felt. Even now, I'm still like staring at them going, oh my God, I had 2 babies. Then I birthed the placenta. I was like, that's the placenta. No more babies. And Jake's behind me, and we're just, I don't know, taking it in. Got two babies. And by that point, so the first baby was born, and then 11 minutes later, so in that 11 minutes, Fox actually woke up and he came out. So he actually watched the second baby be born. And he was so calm and so into it, and like watching. He was on our friend's lap, and they were both taking pictures and just in awe. Everybody in the room was just like speechless. No one really had words. It was just, there's these 2 crying little girls in my arms. Yeah, so we just kind of drank in the moment for like a half an hour, and then Jake cut the first baby's umbilical cord, and then I got to cut the second baby's umbilical cord, which is kind of really special, because normally it's just the dad that cuts the umbilical cord. So for me to do it was, I don't know, it was really cool. I enjoyed that. To be able to do that. It's so cute right now. I am just beyond grateful and blessed for the team that we had that came together for the birth of these 2 beautiful girls, and the around the clock care with these 2 midwives and assistant and friends. And then my beautiful mother came. She instantly flew, like jumped on a plane, even though she's not a big fan of flying. She flew by herself to come and help, because I called her, of course, like a couple hours after, gave her the news. I had the baby, and there's another one, and I need your help. And she came, and she's just so beautiful for doing that and coming. And helping. She helped so much. Everyone helped a lot, but she helped so much. I don't think she realizes how much that helped me and the girls. I just love her so much. Mom, if you're watching this, I love you so much. And I'm so blessed and honored to have you as my mom. Oh. They're almost 3 weeks old now, and they're gaining weight. They're eating and they're pooping and they're sleeping. And they're just doing amazing. And just so grateful. This little lady right here is the one that came out first. She's the one that kicked me at my water break. And her name is River. She definitely came out flowing like a river. She came out so fast. So we have Miss River right here. Yeah. And her beautiful sister in here, who didn't want to come out. Her name is Willow. So we have River and Willow. So we have Fox, River, and Willow. Our beautiful family of 3 now. We are a family of 5, which is just crazy. Blows my mind. So yeah, they are identical twins, 1 placenta that doesn't look like it was fused together. We can tell them apart though. They're not like, I don't know, they're still growing. So we'll see if they really start to really look like each other, but you can tell them apart. Yeah. Oh, she's smiling. I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah. It's gonna be a crazy journey. But we're excited.
Are you doing thumbs up?
Thumbs up.
Bye.
I'll go see baby River.
Baby water. Baby Ricky.
I never seen him do the thumbs up so good ever. Yeah.
Like this. And
Yeah.
you can do 2 now, right? 2.
Oh, how ni ji sway.
Ah,
2. Oh, 2.
Yeah. How old are you?
2.
2.
All right, so this is your setup, yeah, and this is post feeding time.
Yeah. Yep. I had a small pillow. I had a small pillow that I used for Fox, and I had to upgrade to the twin deluxe pillow.
Are you gonna make it?
Am I gonna make it?
Yeah.
And I have to.
I know, but it's been
Am
1
I
month.
gonna make it?
And you got to get to month 2 and month 3 and so
Well,
on.
duh.
So we got monochorionic diamniotic twins, which is identical twins that shared a placenta, but they had 1 chorionic sac, which is the big one.
Yeah.
But they were both in their own individual amniotic sacs. Thank you, buddy.
Oh, thank you,
you.
sweetie.
Learning about all this pregnancy and having a family, thanks to you, through the School of Hard Knocks, the placenta to me is really amazing, and it was bizarre to see one with 2 umbilical cords coming out of it.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
It was different for sure.
I mean, I can see the difference in them, and so can you, but people that aren't around them, we've already let them meet a couple people who are in our inner circle, and they can't tell them apart.
I don't think they look alike.
Because you're the mom. You know the secret. You did such an amazing job birthing them at home. You were so, honestly, you just were so smooth about it, and experienced about it, and beautiful about it, and the babies came out very healthy, and they lost a little bit of weight after birth, which is typical, and then quickly through your breast milk we got them back up to birth weight and beyond. So I can't wait to have them at 10 pounds. That's the first big milestone. Let's have 2 10-pound chunky
No,
babies.
it's crazy the differences between Fox's birth and theirs. Like Fox's was like a 10-hour active labor, and theirs were like 4.
Yeah.
It was so fast. It happened so fast, and she came out so fast. Like she just like slid right out.
But at the hospital with Fox, people can go back and watch Fox's birth story. We turned the hospital down for everything they wanted to give you, and we did everything natural just on their turf. From what I've been researching, oftentimes come early.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't think that you gave birth early this time. I think that what you did, in my opinion, is you gave birth to healthy twins.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know I was having twins, so I was trying to
I know.
slow it down, but that was not happening.
But the overwhelming data says that twins come early typically, according to statistics. And
Yeah.
so you didn't give birth early, you just gave birth to healthy twins.
Yeah.
And both twins came out healthy, perfect, and now, 1-month birthdays, they are beautiful and amazing. She just was like powerlifting. All right, well, thank you for blessing me with a family of 5.
Yeah.
Okay, are we doing this again?
No.
We're not doing this again?
No, 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 no. No more babies.
I think every woman says that right after.
No more babies.
And it's like, what is it, like a year later?
No, I was toying with the idea of having 3. Now we have 3. Boom, done.
And you got
It's great.
you got sons and daughters.
I do, yeah. It's great.
And Fox is just enough older than them to keep them safe.
Yeah. Okay.